Hi everyone, I am going to cover some of the best practices for the Salesforce Flows as well as Apex. This PPT is from the Developer Days 2023, but learning is always new. So let's think or use case. I am in the Salesforce screen flows. We have the DML, like let's say I am inserting a record is getting created, and in the testing time it's success, right? I am able to create the record. After a few days someone created a validation rule and they have not tested the flow. So what happened? User is going to use that flow, and in the real time, if the validation rule will satisfy the criteria, then flow can fail. Means DML will fail, and now your flow will fail. How to handle this use case? Simply on your DML, on your create record element, you can add the path as a fault. So message is, if you are having a flow, in the flow some exception occurred, you can catch with the fault. Very similar to Apex development. If you do Apex development, you know very well, in the Apex development what we do, we use try catch. So in the Apex development we use try catch, and in the flow we also have that option fault. Let's say I am doing DML, I am creating the record, use the fault, right? I am doing the update, okay, use the fault. And then if you are in the screen flow, link to the screen and give some error message. You can link to the send element, email element, it will send the email. Power of Subflow. Modular approach. If you are an Apex developer and if you use the small methods, then what is benefits? If you use the small methods, benefit is that you can call that method from the other method. Same thing here in the flow. You can see we have this subflow, right? Here you can see get community user CRM data as a subflow. Now what is benefit? Even if we have multiple flows, if you have different flows and we need a functionality, okay, get the user, then process, and then do some of the calculation or some of the steps, we don't need to write, we don't need to create everything that is inside this subflow. So this is one of the flow, I am calling the subflow. Again, next I can call the subflow, and you are going to follow the modular approach, very similar to the Apex development. In the Apex, we create the Apex method. Inside the method, okay, maybe calculate method, okay, then maybe get method, right? Very similarly, we can call the subflow, and it's also very helpful for the debugging purpose. Right, like let's say full flow failed, we can easily go ahead and check, okay, which functionality is failing. We can go and we can quickly debug that, right? We can reuse that, we can increase the reusability, because in the programming, if you are reusing the steps, you are a very good programmer. Same, it's following the modular approach, and you can call from subflow from multiple flow. And subflow, just a term, right? You are creating one flow and you are calling that flow. You are passing the input, you are getting the output. Let's say I am passing the account number to the subflow, and that subflow is getting the record of account, then filtering couple of account with some logic, some processing happening there, and at the end the same flow is returning list of contacts based on that account number. So we can create a subflow. This is very important in the development journey, especially once we work on the cloud. Either you are using Apex or you are using Flow. Never do the DML inside the loop. Never do the SQL query, like don't use the get record inside the loop. Don't do update, create, delete inside the loop. Use the collection variables, right? And you can do the DML, or you can get the record outside of the loop. In the flow, I have a collection variable, and in that collection variable, we have couple of email IDs, and I need to filter, I need to get all the lead record where email ID is in that collection variable. Get record, lead object, then field email in collection variable, right? Maybe I have a list of record IDs. For example, my flow is accepting the collection variable. That collection variable is giving us list of IDs, list of account IDs, and based on that IDs, I need to find all the account. Get record, then object account, then ID in collection variable, list of IDs. I have beautifully screen already developed in the screen flows, and we have already processing some logic, and we are displaying some of the data, some of the record on the screen. We can reuse that in the LWC instead of building everything from scratch. Simply you have to use the lightning flow tag, then flow API name equal to name of your screen flow, and that screen flow will be embedded inside the lightning web component. Thank you very much.